The next characteristic of the fatherhood of God is probably one which has been the most personal to me over recent years. One of the most significant experiences I've had personally over the last few years is discovering afresh the kindness of God. Probably something I hadn't realised in the same way. Over the last 15 years, my family and I have been through some tremendous highs and some incredible lows. And a lot of the things that I believed about myself or other people have been taken through the ringer. They've been just torn apart. And many of the things that I have had confidence in have been stripped away. I've experienced pain in ways I never knew possible. And had found myself giving up on my dreams, having things I thought just blown away. Now that might be a bit harsh, but over the last few years, repeatedly one of the expressions that has been said to me is God is a lot kinder to us than we are ourselves. Where I'd built up a view that I didn't deserve a lot of things, God has brought blessing into my life in a whole new way. I have an amazing wife who, through her love, has helped us as a family to find healing, to find new hope, to work through a lot of things and to come to a new place of security. And when we got married, one of the expressions that kept coming through was just how kind God was being. We sing a song at the moment, The Goodness of God. All my life, you've been so good to me. And I've discovered that goodness in a whole new way. The kindness of God to me and my family has been incredible. In Matthew chapter 20, Jesus is in this transition. He's been talking to his disciples, preparing them for his death, preparing them for what lies ahead. And he's about to have the triumphal entry. And sandwiched between Jesus saying to his disciples that he's going to die and the triumphal entry is an account where there are two blind beggars sitting beside of the road who call out to Jesus as he walks past. And in the middle of this mission, Jesus stops and speaks to these two blind beggars and asks them this fantastic question: what would you like me to do for you? And they say, we'd like to see. And Jesus heals them and gives them a whole new start. Kindness is defined as the quality of being friendly, the quality of being generous and considerate. And the barriers that we often have to experience kindness are often steeped in what our experiences have been previously. We've maybe come to believe that kindness is a sign of weakness. Often we live in a world that believes in the survival of the fittest. It goes back to the caveman days that you've got to be tough to survive. And we've lived in a way that's often been the opposite to kindness. We're hardwired to look out for danger, to look for threats, and if there's something that's going to make us vulnerable, we often have this fight or flight reaction where we either fight it or we run away. And often one of the barriers to us knowing kindness is just some of the way we're wired to protect ourselves with a view that actually kindness is a sign of vulnerability. For some of us, the experience of our human fathers have been rooted in that because we can't allow our families to be vulnerable. We can't allow ourselves to be vulnerable. It's viewed as a weakness, and we take on board this sense that actually sometimes to be kind might be to be weak, where actually we've got to be tough to survive. In our next session, we will take some time to begin to think how we can rediscover kindness and rethink our perception of Father God as being kind. But for today, let's just think around this idea of kindness. What's been your experience of God? Or what's been your experience of human fathers, human families? What's been your experience in the workplace? There's lots of different things that can shape our perception of kindness. And for me, I found kindness to be something that unlocked a whole new trust in God and a whole new relationship with God. Perhaps sometimes we've grown up thinking God is maybe unfair, or he's a bit harsh. We read through the Old Testament and sometimes think that the God of the Old Testament, he doesn't seem particularly nice. Well, we've looked through the names of God and hopefully we've got a different perception on that now. But for many of us, we grow up sometimes thinking that if we step out of line, God's sitting on a cloud with a thunderbolt to zap us if we step out of line. Or if we blow it, we make a mistake, then we come outside of God's will and that's it. Well, hopefully, what we'll discover tomorrow is that that doesn't have to be our experience. But for today, I want to encourage us to stop and to reflect and to ask ourselves honestly, what's been my experience of kindness?